Howdy YouTube, Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today we're going old school, old school, old school. We're going to crack out the old VCR and we're going to do a favor for my friend in Denmark by the name of Morten. I think you know who he is. He runs a YouTube channel called My Playhouse, so give him a shout out. But he ordered a VHS videotape here in the United States and has asked me to convert it and put it into digital form and then send that file to him and send the VCR tape to him. So that's what we're doing today. So I've dug out the old VCR, hooked it up, and what I'm going to do is show you what it takes to put this system together to capture a tape and record it into digital form. Going old school today, folks. Old school, old school. It's the best school. I have in front of us right now a Mitsubishi Super VHS. You know how I can tell? Because it's right there. Super VHS Hi-Fi VCR. I bought this thing years ago. I don't even remember how old it is. And I always make sure to keep a VCR around because I've got a lot of old tapes. I mean to convert to digital, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So I thought it would make a good video to cover what is required to copy your VHS tapes to digital and keep them in theory forever. So this is probably one of the better VCRs that Mitsubishi ever built. There's been several reviews done on it, and that's not why I bought it. I bought it because it had Super VHS at the time, and I thought Mitsubishi was a good brand. So it has audio video output jacks on the back, and it has an S-video input and output, which is what you need for Super VHS. But let's take a look inside and see how a VCR works for those of you that don't know how it works, and I'll tell you some of the neat features of this VCR that it has over others, and one of the main reasons I bought it. So we have the cover off now, and you see the inside, the guts of the VCR. Like I said, let's see if I can figure out what year this was made. 2006 maybe? 1996? It may be 1996. So this thing would be 2000, so this thing is 20 years old. But it works. I keep it maintained, I lubricate it every now and then. You know, just so the lube doesn't so the lubrication doesn't dry out. So one of the nice features of this VCR is the fact that it is a high-speed fast forward and rewind. So if you've ever sat around waiting on tapes to rewind or fast forward, you know what I'm talking about. So all the components are in good shape. It's got a really good, you see how this is your video head drum. So the tape comes in. I'll show you how to load how it loads the tape. Comes in and wraps around this is mainly the video head. You can see this little notch here. That's a video head. Then there's an audio head. So because this is a hi-fi VCR, it has multiple heads, spinning audio and video heads, and it's a helical scan. Then it has a erase head right here to erase the tape, and then this is the audio record head if you're just recording regular audio on the tape. So if I were to load a tape, the early VHS VCRs did not load the tape like betas did, but this is an older or a newer model VCR, so you can see how it goes ahead and it pulls the tape around the tape path and keeps it ready for you. So what I like to do anytime I put a tape in that I haven't played a while, I like to go ahead and fast forward the tape all the way to the end, and then this thing will automatically rewind. So if I were to do that now, I'm just going to press fast forward, and you can see how it starts out a little bit slow, and then it kicks into high gear, and you can probably hear the sound it's making. What that does is it just kind of keeps the tape on the spools evenly, and you're less likely to have damage from threading errors or something like that because the tape is sticky. So that's why I do a fast forward and then a rewind before I play a tape or record on it. Now I don't record on VCRs anymore. I'm not that nostalgic, but like I said, I do have a lot of So it's pretty much almost done with a fast forward. And now it'll go ahead and do a fast rewind. There you go, and it's running. No, I just keep it around so I can copy old, there's a lot of family VCR tapes out there floating around in my family, and nobody else likes to mess with this stuff, so they'll bring their VCR tapes to me when they want them copied onto digital so that we have the family memories. I think it'll do a fast forward and a rewind in 30 seconds, something like that. It's some horribly fast speed. You can hear it, the thing ramps up. Let that run. Alright, so once it's done with the rewind, and you can see it going around there, we're just going to hit play. And this tape was recorded in EP mode, so it runs the tape very, very slowly. As you can see by the little, this is like a little governor right here. Just gives you an idea of how fast the capstan is moving. So on an EP tape, that's the worst quality you can have. It spins kind of slowly. On an SP, which is a normal record speed, it moves the tape quite a bit quicker, but you can only get 2 hours on a tape. In EP mode, you can get 6 to 8 hours, depending on how long the tape is. So once we're done with the tape, then all we have to do is press the eject button, and you can see how it loads the tape back into the cassette, and bing bang boom, we have our VCR cassette back. Now the reason I'm doing this video is because Morton had ordered a copy of the VHS tape that he liked quite a bit off of the internets or the interwebs, and it was sent to me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to digitize this tape. I'm going to convert it into a digital tape, and then I'm going to give Morton the means to download this. Now I know what y'all are saying, it's a copyright violation, DMCA. No, actually it's not. He owns the tape. I'm just putting it onto a digital copy for him and giving him the ability to download his legally purchased copy of his VHS tape. It's called fair use in the United States, so I can do what I want to. Yeah. So don't rip off videos. You know, if you don't own the video, don't copy it onto digital. It's just, you know, be a good net citizen, as they say. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the cover back on this VCR, and I'm going to load up his tape. And I'm going to show you what software that I would use in order to make a VCR to digital copy. So this is my video capture device. It's called a TOTMC. These things are sold on Amazon. They're sold pretty much everywhere. You can find them at Walmart. And all it is a composite video and audio to USB converter. So it converts your composite and your right and left channel audio, your composite video, and it has an this one happens to have an S-video plug on here. So like I said, Super VHS uses S-video. It separates the chroma and the luminance, the color and the brightness signal. And we come around to the back of the VCR. So all you do is you plug this connector into the back of your VCR out terminals. So there's right and left channel audio and video, and then it comes into this device, and then it goes down to my workstation here through the USB 2 plug. Then you have to load the drivers on it, and then you're going to need some sort of video capture software. And that's what we're going to cover next, is how to capture these videos. You see I got the VCR back together. So now we'll go into the video and see how to capture a VHS video. Alright, so we're back at our desktop now, and I can't do a webcam on me. That's right, you don't need to see my pretty face. But I'm on my workstation across from my main desk because this is where I have all this set up. So I've got everything plugged in, I've got the drivers loaded for my USB capture device, etc. So now what I want to do, I'm using a program, a free program called AVS Video Recorder. Now it comes in two parts, comes with a video recorder and a video editor, and the video recorder portion is free, so that's what I'm using. So I'm going to launch that, and then I'm going to go briefly over some of the settings here. So I can, let's put this full screen so you can see it. So when you come up natively, it's going to capture in the recommended format, which is actually MPEG-2 format. You can capture in the RAW format. If you're gonna edit the video later, I would recommend capturing it in the RAW format.
just because it's going to make it easier to edit the video later. And then when you're all done, say if you ran it through something like Adobe Premiere, you could then edit it and then save it as an MP4 file at the end. But I'm going to use a recommended format. What it's going to do is it's going to convert it to MPEG-2 720 by 480, which is the US standard 480p, 29.97 frames per second, 6.58 megabits per second, and the audio format is going to be MPEG-2 or MP2, 4800 hertz, 128 kilobits per second. And then the location I'm going to save it is on my D drive. We're going to give it a name here in a minute. And then scheduler, you can split the captured videos. I don't see any need to use this. The settings just allow you to set the audio codec, and here's the input settings on your video device. So we're going to do composite video, NTSC_M for America. I have no idea what the M means, but we're going to use the EasyCap video grabber, okay? And there is no audio input device. And then you can go to advanced settings, and this is actually the properties on the VCR, and you can see SVHS is about 525 lines as opposed to 480p on a standard VHS or standard NTSC television signal. This is the old one we used for years here in the States. So that's what those settings are. So I just leave it at the default. Now what we need to do is give it a name. So what you could do here is click on Browse, and as you can see, I've already done some captures here, but I'm just going to call this one the name of the videotape, Matt's Million, and I'm going to save it. So now what'll happen is when I go to capture that video, it'll give it the title of Matt's Million. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually put the tape into the VCR, and I'm going to fast forward and rewind it just to respool the tape, and then I'll come back and we'll give you a preview of what that's going to look like. So I've got a tape loaded in the video, and it's actually an old tape I hadn't seen since we first moved out here in 1998, and it's a little documentary I made for future posterity on our mobile home. So what you can do is you can start actually playing the tape, and then when it gets to the point where you want to start recording, you just click on Start Capture. So I'm going to go ahead and press play on the tape, and there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming through there. I'm going to mute the volume real quick, and I'm going to wait till it gets to some actual video here. And I don't know. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to start the capture. Now, as I do that, you can see it gives you the recorded video size, CPU usage, disk free usage, that kind of thing. And it's the format it's recording in. Now let's just talk about, this is my father-in-law. This is our property. When we first bought our land, there was nothing out here. You can see it's old farmland. Boy, how it has changed. There are hardly any houses out here. This is the size of the property before the house even got here. Our neighbor was already there. That's their house. You can see there's absolutely no trees out here. Nothing at our neighbor's house, nothing at all. No neighbors around us. That is my mother-in-law, God rest her soul. She passed away a few years ago from cancer. And that's our water meter right there, and I think a telephone box. So I'm just going to let this video play, but let's talk about capture quality. Your capture quality is only going to be as good as the original. Don't think that when you go to capture a VCR tape, this is a picture of the model home we looked at when it was on the mobile home lot. But the quality of the picture is only going to be as good as the original tape material. So if you got a crap tape, don't expect to be recording it and having it be a better quality. It's just not going to happen. So once you start your capturing, just monitor it. And that's the thing with linear tape. You have to record it from beginning to end. So you'll need to let this run, and when you're done, you'll click on this button here to stop the capture. But anyway, I'll go ahead and click on stop the capture now because I'm done capturing. And then I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to go out to the D drive, which is where that recording is contained under our video library captures. And there should be one here called Mobile Home, and you can see it's about 82K for about 82 megabytes for about 2 minutes worth of video. So if I were to go ahead and play that video,
So there's the property line there.
I'll bring it over here.
Really is right there. And then it goes to this other one.
And there you go. There's the captured video.
Right. And I can't look that way though because there's too much damn light.
And you can see it's done it very well. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. So all you have to do is pretty much let the video run until it is captured completely. Stop, click your stop capture button, and all should be well with the world. So that's pretty much what it takes. I'll put links to the software I use down below so that you can see it and go out and get it for yourself if you want to. You can buy that capture device off of Amazon. They're about 20 bucks, and usually they include software. I just prefer the software I was showing you. It makes it nice and easy to set it up, and the capture software itself is free. But usually you'll get some sort of capture software along with the drivers when you order your device. Now, I covered it briefly on there. There's a couple of different ways to capture a file. You can capture it in raw AVI format, which makes it easier to go out later if you want to edit the video and add stuff to it. But if you're just doing a raw capture from VCR tape onto your hard drive, MPEG-2 format is just fine, as long as you have a processor that's powerful enough to handle it. And any modern day processor should be able to convert that VHS into MPEG-2 format. It's the same format they use on a DVD, is MPEG-2 format. So, you know, don't let that make you afraid. But do keep in mind, if you're going to edit the video later, for example, if I want to add my own titles or something to this VCR tape, I would need to capture it in the AVI format, which is going to be a pretty big size hard drive file, but it'll allow you to pull it into an editing program and edit it later. Now, the software that I'm using to capture also has a complete video editor package, and you can edit MPEG-2 files, they claim. And I think it's 29 bucks for the software, so it's not too bad of a deal if that's what you're looking to do. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell, and we hope you found the video entertaining and informative as always. Leave your comments down in the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and press the notification bell so you get notified when we have new videos coming up. If you joined us in our live stream on Saturday, you'll know that we did an experiment on the audio, and I have decided to, with a vast reflection, I have decided to keep the audio settings how I have them now, to where it cuts out the background noise. So I had everybody take a vote who was in the live stream, and pretty much everybody agreed it was much better than having the background noise in the video. So there you go. Donate if you're so inclined. We take PayPal, we take Patreon, and don't forget, we will see you on the other side.